Hi there, I'm Shauna from Infinity Readings. I'm going to do the Virgo male single, Virgo male single for the winter of 2018 into 2009. Hey guys, I wanted to take a minute here just to kind of acknowledge what I've done for this winter season. I managed to change up a few things. I vamped the logo a little bit. I actually got Aaron at Active Dynamics here. He has managed to make my intro for me, so I'm very thankful for that. He did a great job. I couldn't have done it. So thanks, Aaron, for that. I appreciate it immensely. And also to Ikson for my theme music. It's beautiful, upbeat, happy tunes. I can't get enough. I am now going to his page because it's just that great. It's all good gravy stuff. So I couldn't have revamped my winter season without these dudes around me. So I'm lucky enough to have them in my corner. So thanks, guys. Ikson, great work. Aaron, thanks again. Great work. So take care, guys. Enjoy your season. And Ikson, if you ever want a reading, just hit me up, man. Just email me. I will kick in and we'll set something up. In the meantime, take care. Have fun, you guys, and enjoy the readings. And we're going to open up the window here and see what's going on for the Virgo male. Also wanted to mention that I have a Facebook page. I do most of my work. When I'm not doing the seasonals, I'm in there. And weekly I have readings and we have live stuff I shoot out. So you want access to what I'm doing, it's all in there. So join that if you so want. That is Infinity Readings and Reviews, and that you get access to more stuff in the way of, my readings. So next, I used the 3 cards from the masculine deck you can see behind me there to go over the general energies, and then we shoot right into, I have 5 different decks I work from. The Lenormand kind of splits up the basic energies as we move into the love and sex energies, and hopefully this will alleviate or get to the root of the causes that we're trying to lift here and see if we can't make a difference in your way forward. That is my goal. That's why I'm here. To help people in the romantical way either get closer or realize that we need to move on. Okay. The first card we get for the Virgo male and the general energies is protection. So, and that's his essence. There's something here he feels he needs protection from. I'll just leave it at that. The next card on the left here is action. So there's some kind of action he's either taken or taking over this season. He feels very fired up and ready to roll. Okay. And then on the right side, we have cycles. So we may be having a situation here where we are running a loop. Okay. We're looping through some cycles or being aware of such. Now we're going to go into the rest of the energies and see where that lies. So there's something about a cycle happening here. So we'll be aware of that. Alrighty. So as we move into the first card for the Virgo male. Sorry, I'm just doing reading after reading. So I'm like, I got to check which one I'm at. Queen of Cups. This is the forefront energy that seems to flood the reading here. There may be a sense of this may be what you need protection from, or it may be something you're focused on, okay? So that's a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Someone who is very emotional and may not be completely in charge of those emotions as of yet, but working hard to do so. Soft, compassionate, loving, caring energy, okay? So that is the first card. The second card we have is Justice. So we get from that? I feel like that is kind of describing the woman. I feel like the woman is trying to balance her energy zone, her emotional centers. And this is really the justice that's sitting here. Okay, so this figure is prominent in your life, or someone that you're taking note of for sure. And this is what's going on with her. It's interesting because the first line is usually your energy, but it's being infiltrated by someone else. But I feel like the two cards and the two cards are splitting. So it's like there's someone here, either a past companion or someone you want to work towards, that is kind of just sitting here. Okay, boom, there's the energy. Soft, compassionate energy, just working on her emotions to balance things out. Okay, now the next card we get is a Page of Cups. So that's about that new direction. So this is what they're telling me. This is the new direction he wants to go. Cups, loving energy. There's a little bit of stuff this woman's working on, but nonetheless very compassionate, kind, and kindly centered. Okay. And this is felt highly, I think, by the Virgo male. So the Page of Cups is about that new direction and the new wonderment. I'm feeling like, you know, there's a fish jumping out there. And in this deck, it's like, oh, what's that? It's caught my interest, and I want to look further, right? So the card I get to really embellish that is the Six of Wands. So not only do we have a new direction here, but we feel very successful in going forward with it. Okay, so it's interesting that they split the energy right up there. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that, but no less, I feel a good, solid new direction and focus. Simple as that. Okay, so as we get into the second row here, we get into the Dreamer's Tarot. And the first card in that row we get under the Queen of Cups is the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords, I feel like they're reverting me back to the Queen here. Like, you need info on this Queen and they're dishing it out, okay? So the Queen of Cups is going through a situation here where the Two of Swords, that's a stalemate, okay? So they're in a situation where they have issues in their life or situations in their life that are at a stalemate. There's something going on here that is kind of in limbo, but undecided. Okay, we'll carry on. The next card under the Justice is the Empress. So the Empress is about abundance and fertility and all these beautiful things that make up a woman, the soft side of her, but yet it's abundant and full of life, right? Full of everything. So this may be the energy that you're putting upon this person, or this may be the energy that this person's putting upon you in that way. You're seeing all of this flow from her. And the Two of Swords here is just kind of sitting on its own. So I'll revert back to that later, I feel, in a different way. So as we move on onto the Page of Cups, we have the Temperance. So we may have a lot of bursting energy come forth for this direction, and we may have to kind of temper that or watch that. We may have to be aware of how that is affecting us and why, okay? Now, the Six of Wands, the Victory. And I feel like that's kind of an ego sense. Like, this isn't something I could do. This is something I could go in the direction of. That's really what's coming forth here from the Virgo males. Like, feeling very ego-fied and confident that he can go after this direction and get good results, okay? Now, under that, we have the Three of Wands, and that's looking to the future. So I feel like this is very much in the kind of just the light bulb phase here. We've just turned the light bulb on, and now we got to figure out what to do from here. So it's really a burst of energy that come forth to point you in a direction, and now we're going to begin, right? So the Three of Wands is really looking forward to the future, and I feel like the success is going, yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be fun, like excitedly, to the point where we have to kind of temper ourselves. Watch yourself. Take it easy, this kind of thing. It's not advice, but it's kind of like that's what's going on in your head. You know, whoa, take it easy, just chill. Might be a little excited on this one, you know, maybe kind of a physical attraction, right? Looks wise. So we might have to temper that. So as we move into the third line, we get into the Lenormand deck, and we're talking about different issues here. We're going to slowly creep into the love and romance side. Now, under the Two of Swords, that's that stalemate card that I feel is attached to this queen that he's got his sights on. We have the 28. And man, they're making me look at this guy looking at this girl. There's a focus here that is unwavering. This guy is just deadlocked on this woman and nothing's moving him, okay? He is focused with all that masculine energy, and it's almost like there's a lion there just waiting, okay? A lot of energy. I'll tell you, if there's an indecision here, it ain't from his side of things, okay? He is very focused in the direction of this woman. Like, things are just starting to brew, man. It's just unwavering eye contact. This is what I'm getting. Like, just wanting to look all day at this person. Even if they're... And I'm getting a sense of distance, no less, okay? But anyway, okay, moving on top of the Empress, we get the 15, which is the bear. Now, usually that can signify a maternal figure that figures prominently here, but it can also signify power and strength and pushing through. I feel moreover, that's what's going on here because it's right behind the 28. And I feel like there's a lot of power in this man and energy going towards this woman, yet there's nothing. We just laid eyes on her. Like that kind of a thing, okay? We've just noticed, but there's a whole lot brewing here. We got the Temperance and the Three of Wands. It's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff here we got to control in the way of energy, because energetically this man is like a volcano, really, is what I feel. Now, under the Temperance, we have the 42, which is the compass. Okay, so we got to temper ourselves and figure out where we're going, because there might be a little bit. Look at how I'm spreading. I wish I could tone it down here. I'll change my view, but they're making me spread the cards left and right. So it's almost like we're going to dive into her, and then we're going to dive into to him. Anyway, sorry, weird stuff. Now, the 42 is the compass. It's pointing in the direction of the Three of Wands, which is looking towards the future. I am looking towards the future. I don't want to look back to where I've been. That's what he's focused on. That's what means most to him. And that's what he's going to let lead him. And right now, it's a pretty face that he's seen come at him, and he ain't taking his stare off for nothing. I feel like if he takes a drink, he's going to take the drink and then he's going to put it back. He's not going to lose the gaze. That's really, there's something here that caught this guy's fancy, simple as that. So it may be a love at first sight thing, or it may be just, you know, caught up in the visual of a woman, and he just can't seem to shake that. It's very powerful to him, okay? So under the Three of Wands and looking to the future, we have 32, which is the moon, and that symbolizes the universal secrets. And the universe has mechanics of its own that it has to put in play no matter what direction you're focused in, okay? There's some things here that are hidden and will come to fruition, no less, but there's an agenda from the universe, and they're going to get theirs done no matter what. So that's an energy zone to keep in mind as you're moving forward. Okay, as we get into the romance here, on the 28, that focused man, and they're going focus with power and intent. This is what's going. Very, very powerful, okay? So the 28, on top of that, we have the 8 of Wands, which is very interesting, okay? This is interesting. This explains why this man is so sprung from this. And like the thing is, I get a strong sense of this energy being like very raw, pure, and in the beginning phases, but not even in the beginning. It's literally a sight. I've seen something and I want to go after it. Now, the 8 of Wands, you look at this as karmically tied relationship. So it means that Okay, I'll tell you the scenario of this card, then I'll break it down on top of the energy that we're exhibiting here. This card relates to someone having a one-night stand, but we realize that they got more feelings here than just the one night. They may have went out to have a one-night stand, but there's a karmic tie there. That blue tie, that's a karmic tie. And it may even be from a past life relationship. We may be having a tie to someone from a past life or many past lives, and that is why we're feeling so strong. This is not just this lifetime we've dealt with this soul. This soul's been through many with us, okay? And we'll see how that plays out. This is a deeper reading than I expected. Nonetheless, I think the Virgo's gonna handle it. We'll see what happens. So he is focused and intent, can't get his eyes off. That's why. Because his soul remembers that soul, and that is why. This is heavy. I know this person, but I don't know this person. What's going on? So there may be some confusion there, but all I'm seeing is power and intent and focus. They are sprung and they are looking, and I just feel the power vibes. That's it. They've contacted, connected, and now they got to take action, right? So if we look at the protection here and the action and then the cycles, we got to be careful, because the cycles is talking about looping, and we talk about looping, that's like jumping into something where you just came from, and you didn't want that, so you left that, or it left, or it broke, and you might be getting into the same scenario. So be aware to think about that. So anyway, the Eight of Wands here symbolizing that you may be having a situation here where you got more feelings. One person's got more feelings than the other. Usually that's what I relate, because she's holding a blue towel, but she's not got a blue thing around her wrist, right? So to me, it's almost like one person in the relationship's realizing that they got more emotions here, that things run deeper, and it means that I've got a purpose here, or I feel driven to go here, but the other person may not know this, or may not realize this, or may not, you know. So that's the thing. And here it is the man that is holding that tie. So there's a realization here that there's something tugging and holding them, but they haven't quite solidified them, you know, to be tied to it. You know, it's not all together. Okay, so that is why you know, it's kind of a love at first sight is really what it is. There's something more here than just the average bear, literally, and that's the power behind all that force and energy. It's not just from this lifetime, it's from many, and it's hit him like a ton of bricks. Okay, it's come across this energy, this soft energy, and he wants to find out more, I think. Well, right now I feel like he's just gazing, he's just watching her and going, and just in amazement and awe and wonder. That's what he's doing. Okay, so that's the pair. The next card we get is the Four of Wands, which is interesting, because we may have a scenario here where the Virgo male, now if I remember correctly, the last reading I had was really good for the Virgo male, and that was the single. I'm pretty sure. And he was in his position where he was gonna get he was getting out of a relationship and flipping into a new one, and the new one was gonna shock and awe, and look at how it's unfolding again here. We're getting into the woman, and this is what she's about. And the next card we get is the Four of Wands, which is the marriage card. So this man is feeling like this is marriage material. Now, the scenario I want to lay out here for the cards, the way they're presented, is the Eight of Wands is like, yeah, I'm going out, and in the reading it was like, yeah, I'm going out in a huff and I'm going to get satisfied, and then he comes across something, and then he has a one-night stand, and then he realizes, you know, this isn't just something, this is something else, and I want it for the rest of my life. Amen. So you may have a scenario that you come across that you go flippantly for a one-night stand, and then you end up coming into something that is long-term material. Okay, So there's that. Now, under the dial here, the 42, the compass, where are we going? It's pointing in the direction of 3 of Wands. So he's headed to the future. The past is the past. I'm moving forward. Now, underneath that, we have the 6 of Pentacles. So the 6 of Pentacles is about attention going outward. Like in here, we have this man. He's a painter, and he's painting a portrait of this woman, and the woman is feeling beautiful. Like, okay, yeah, is this my good side? What's my good side? And she's feeling very sprung, because even though he's a painter, he's noticing her and wants to paint her. It's almost like he said, you know, it's almost like they're in a, what do you call that? Like a market. And he said, you know what, come over here, I want to paint your picture. And she's going, okay, you know, feeling chuffed that this guy's going, yeah, sure. And she's kind of putting it on, you know. So that's the sense I get. Now, I feel like that is the Virgo male's effect on this woman. I feel like he is looking upon her. There's no doubt about that. But once he starts to recognize her and compliment her, I think she's going to feel very flattered. That's the word I was looking for. Flattered. Like he is going to flatter her, and she is going to respond highly to that, and it's all going to be good and great and gravy. Okay, so there's a sense here that this man's going to start going outward and spreading that. Though this is kind of a, at this point, I also get the sense that he's not making her aware. He may be enjoying the view, but he's not coming forth with the words just yet. Now, by the end of the sex reading, we might have different, but yet there's sex going on here, so I don't know. This may be down the road, okay? I got to put this all together. I'm kind of excited for this guy, because he's that was one of the better readings I had, was that Virgo reading. And I was like, I went to bed, I was happy, and I didn't even, I'm not a Virgo, but it was interesting to me how life can be that way, you know, can turn you around. You can be going off pissy in a mood, and then they just sweep that out from under you, flip you around, and then suddenly you're getting into the happy zone. And now I'm giving him the second reading for the winter, and it's following it up. Because sometimes we just get a deadlock, something happened, something changed in the energy field, and now that's not the case anymore, you know. But that's not what's happening. It's continuing. So this is a little saga. So if you haven't watched, if you're a Virgo and you come across this video, go watch my summer seasonal, because that'll give you a taste too of what's coming up. Okay, anyway, under the moon here, right? And that's the mechanics of the universe coming forth and saying, okay, we've got some stuff we got to play. We got some things we got to move around and jostle, and not everything is in its right place, and that is yet to happen. That's also in the future. Now, the next card we get under that moon is the 10 of Cups. So, where are we going with that? Because this card is flips all over the place for me. I feel like, again, I feel like this is a long distance thing, or at least a secret admirer thing. Because I'm getting two cards here that are making me feel like the man is looking at her, but he is not coming forth to really affect her. And the same is here with the woman, but it's a woman, but he's, you know, so maybe it's mutual. Maybe they're both looking at each other, unbeknownst to the other, and admiring each other from afar. Okay, so, wow. So that's interesting. Anyway, okay, next row. Sex side. So we'll get to the meat of it here. The 9 of Swords. Now that's interesting, because we have a black cat walking through the legs of this woman, though we have an indulgence in the act, no less. Now I feel like this is the Virgo male's energy. He's wishing it's going to be this partner, but no less, we have someone who really wants to indulge in the act. So I feel like physically this man is very much attracted on a superficial level to this woman. And that's the epitome of that. On the next card here, we have the 4 of Wands. They're going, oh, They're going, this is the male single reading. They're going, this man could be married. So keep that in mind. So that's interesting. Anyway, carrying on. That's kind of confusing me here, but yeah, this man could be married, or maybe in the process of getting out of one. I don't know. That's weird because there's no other cards here, but we'll continue. On top of the Four of Wands, the marriage card, we get the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is about a triangle. There's a love triangle here. There's somebody in the periphery. So this is right on top of that card that they said this guy may be married. So maybe he is married and looking in the direction, acting like he's single. I don't know what's going on. That's triangle. Okay, next card. On top of the 6, the attention here, we get the 10 of Wands, which is interesting again. The 10 of Wands is about, okay, this is becoming a little bit diluted here. Okay, so we have the admiration card here. The 6 of Wands, or the 6 of Coins, is about going outward and looking at someone in admiration, and may even be from afar. Okay, on top of that, we have the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is about, this is the card I attribute to those people that they're just so much in love and there's so much passion, they can't wait. They jump in the bush and then they just take care of business and then they're back, you know, doing whatever they were doing before. It's like they cannot hold back the passion or the feelings of in the sexuality side. They can't hold back. So it's like there's a huge pull this way. Okay, so this is a 10. That's a 10. We got to keep that in mind here because there's a little bit of confusion here with the marriage card. So anyway, the next card on the 10 of Cups, we get the Page of Swords, and that is about, man, this guy is just enamored. He is completely head over heels in love, smack dab in the middle of it. He cannot keep his eyes on. There's a drive here that is beyond reason. Okay, even for the Virgo male. Like the Virgo male is not one to get strung up on stuff like this, ever. And I don't think he's, you know, they're going, well, yeah. You know what they said? They said not in this lifetime, but in the past. And that's why, right? It's because of that lifetime. There's definitely not only one past life, but many here that they have connected on, and the soul is just revealing, you know, is recognizing that. It's just amazing what's going on here. But I have to take note of the fact that we've got 2 10s in a love triangle and a 4. So the 4 could actually be that this man has walked down the aisle, but I see no breakup cards here. Okay, this man is looking at the future, but what is going on in his present, and why is he jumping in the future? Okay, so he's very obsessed, you know, in this 8 of Wands here could symbolize, you know, if we're talking this, again, this is the single reading, okay, but they threw a monkey wrench in here and says, well, this man could be married. So I don't take that how it resonates. Now, the 8 of Wands underneath that man could be this visual here could be talking about his marriage, where she's looking out the window. You know, somebody's, where I said somebody's not in recognition, it may be to the degree that someone has lost a tie here in a marriage and is now, you know, going to go after someone else to whatever, to find that tie, right? Man, this is just all over the place. Okay, and then the 9 of Swords is about, yeah, indulging. And I almost sense like a dreaminess to that. And that would make sense. It's almost like you see someone on a bus, you know, you're going or whatever, and you go home, and if things aren't going well, then that's what you're dreaming about. But to a degree here where the marriage is not showing up anywhere else. It makes no sense. So we're going to see if we can make some sense of this. I went horizontally. Now I'm going to go vertically, but I want to state one thing. They've cut this reading in half. As I'm doing the cards, I'm laying them down, and I'm seeing it's completely the left side, the 2 cards on the left, and the 2 cards on the right. So we'll see if this ties together when I go vertically, because that's how they cut it in half, vertically. I didn't notice till I was halfway through. I'm like, you're separating the energies. What for? So we'll see what's going on here. So now we're going to dip into the cards again, but go vertically down and see what comes, because a lot of stuff can come out in different areas. Okay, so the Queen of Cups. So this is that focus. This is this thing that's got him sprung, okay? This energy that he's focused on, and it seems like she's got a lot of emotional stuff going on, okay? Now, the Two of Swords comes in there, and I felt it was highly attached to her. I feel like she may be in a stalemate in her life, or maybe in transition where she's kind of like doesn't want to do anything. And that may be the part, too, is she's not willing to make a decision on a relationship. Yeah. And they're making me take note of the blindfold there, that she's blind. So, and that's that thing of, I feel like one person is aware. He is definitely aware on all levels. There's something going on. She's completely blinded. Doesn't know, doesn't understand, doesn't see, right? Is not seeing what he's seeing anyway. So that could be stating that as well. And then on top of the Two of Wands, so that stalemate card, indecision, okay? Not wanting to go anywhere, really. And it may be just in her life period. She may be at a point here where nothing's going on. She doesn't know where to go or what to do, okay? Especially in the romance area, okay? So on top of that becomes the man, you know, the strong man here, 28, that is focused and directed. So that is that Virgo energy going forward. Now on top of that we have the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is about these two people here. One person has a tie on their wrist. Now if we go with the reading, seems like he's the one. He's feeling a tie to someone. There's no one else attached to this, or no one else exhibiting that tie, because we haven't got to that place yet. We haven't got to the place where we're getting this together. So on top of the 8, we have the 9 of Swords. And that's really the overall sense I'm getting here is someone that really wants to dive into the sexual side of things, to the point where the black cat is symbolizing like an obsessive nature. Okay, I'm getting that a lot from a lot of the cards here. So there's an obsessive degree here. We can be out of control with our sexual urges. Okay, now the next line we have is the Justice. And that is, I felt in the beginning, is this woman, attached to this woman. She's trying to balance out things in her life. And this may be too why she's not very inviting when it comes to things coming at her. Or just not seeing, okay? It's not that she's not inviting or she turned away. Just she's not seeing, not aware, okay? So the Justice is there in her life to balance her out, and she's working on that in an emotional way and also in every other area. Then the Empress, and I feel again, this is her energy working to balance itself out, feeling fruitful. I feel like that's part of something she needs to work on. Yeah. And feeling powerful in her own right. Maybe some self-worth as well, but nonetheless, there's something there. She is really exhibiting the Empress to him. That's the bottom line here. But I'm trying to tune into her. And I think she's really trying to grow into that Empress. She's trying to encompass that slowly and surely. That's not her goal, but it's naturally happening with what she's trying to balance out, okay? And again, the Empress is how he sees her. Very abundant, very fruitful, very loving, very compassionate. It's like she's got all the elements to attract You know, the feminine wiles to attract. That's, he's seeing, oh yeah, she's got that. And he's being pulled in by that strong. And then little Norman, the 15, and that's that bear energy. And I felt that was tied to the Virgo male in his, I'm saying pursuit, but I don't feel he's pursued yet. I don't feel he has started the pursuit. I feel he is just stopping and staring at this point. Okay, there's an unbelievability about this whole thing, and I guess that would have to do with the past life connection that he feels, right? It's all on such a deep level, it's hard to compute, and that's, he's kind of stunned by all that. So the bear is a symbol of power and force, and also how he may forge forward from here, but he's going to have to watch his step, because the temperance is right there. That's where all that power is going. We got to temper that eventually here, because we're being driven, which is great and grand and wonderful, but we have to control. And this is out of control. So yeah, there's that. Now on the 15, we have the 4 of Wands, which is, you know, when the first go around here, I'm like, well, you know, he's thinking this is marriage material. But then when I went through the second time to lay the sex card, they're going, don't disregard the fact that he could be married. I'm like, but this is a single reading. What are you talking? And they're going, he could be married. I'm like, but there's no other card supporting. I don't get it. He could be married. That's all they're telling me. I'm like, okay. So this man could be attached in some way. Okay, may not be a legal marriage, it may be, or it may be a long-term thing that he's getting out of or transitioning from. I don't know. We're going to get more on that, I guess, in the future. And on top of the 4, we have the 3 of Swords, which overstates the fact that there's a third party here, and something's awry. Something is wrong here. So I have a feeling that is the case, that this man and this Pisces woman is the third party. That's what I feel. But yet I'm not picking up nothing about him being in a couple. So that was the first I heard of it. So we'll see what's going on here. So there's something about a third energy. Okay. Now, as we move, and that's where it's split. This was one side of the table. Now they've moved the cards to the other side. So now we're going to dip into the other side. Now, Page of Cups, this is him. This is him looking forward to a new adventure, new exciting stuff. And that goldfish in this deck symbolizes excitement. Exciting to go in a new direction, and there is a direction here, and it's all, you know, gold and orange. It's looking cool, and what is that? And I'm going to go find out what it is. So curiosity to move forward and energetically with, like, you know, excitement. So on the Page of Cups, we have the Temperance, and that's the thing. We're excited, but we got to watch ourselves, because all of this past life stuff, I feel, usually I don't dive this much into that, but obviously this is prominent, and this guy is going to know it. So if it doesn't resonate, don't try and make it fit, but for somebody it will. Now, the Temperance is about, be careful how we start off here. We got to be careful. We don't pounce too much. We don't put too much. There's a lot of power behind this man, and it's going in one focused direction. So we got to be aware of our energy field when we're going forward, and that's what they're warning, okay? Now, 42 is about that compass, north and south. Where are we going? Where are we headed? So this too would figure prominently if this man is in the breakage of a relationship or whatever. It's registered. This is the single reading. So this man, if he's married, he is playing it single, okay? And I'm going to go with that, because otherwise it's just too confusing. So the direction he feels he's going to go, he's just looking to the future, and I'm sticking to that. That's what's going on here. He's looking ahead. So if he did break, man, he's not dealing with any of that. And he may have some baggage here that he's stringing along, though I don't see it too much in this reading. He's just chuffed about going forward, and that's what he's focusing on, and everything else can hit the road, right? The Page here, he doesn't have a lot of skill, but he's going forward in excitement. So the 42. On the 42, we have the 6, which is the admiration card. You know, there's somebody here I'm admiring, and I'm gonna put my focus there. And then on top of the admiration card, we have the 10 of Wands, which is the passionate, I can't hold back, let's go in the backfield and get it done. This person cannot hold back their feelings of passion. Well, neither one, it seems like. That they really, yeah, it's like they'll turn any corner and then just take care of it because it's so overwhelming. And I feel like we can't blame this dude for it either. I'm feeling like, you know, it's the universal. Like, why did they go and throw this in there? But it's a good thing he's being sprung, but it's going to be overwhelming for him to deal with. That's the sense I'm getting here, like never before in his life. And they're going, not in this life. So, whatever. And yet, the woman, I don't know if the feeling I'm getting from the woman, she's just blinded to this. She doesn't know. She doesn't have a clue. Okay? So, that he's got that going for him, all that stuff. He can try and figure that out, right? Depower all of that and try and come from composure. He's got time to do that because she's unaware. She doesn't know what's going on here. So the last row, we start out with the 6 of Wands, the victory, and I felt like that was this man's ego going, I can be victorious here. I can gain this, and I'm going to gain this. And I'm not accepting no ands, ifs, or buts. I'm going to, very focused, tending to this. And then the 3 of Wands is that future. I'll work on it, and I'll get it, and I'll attain it in the future. I got lots of time, nothing but time. So 32 is the moon, and that's the mechanics of the universe. The moon cycles, right? We're going to have to go through a few of these before a lot of this stuff is going to come to fruition. I feel like this man is just being sprung by, that's probably the 3rd time I've said sprung, but being propelled forward by this energy that he's feeling, and it's very in the depths of him, and he's got to really figure out what's going on first, I think, before he even thinks of going forward. But in the meantime, because I feel like over the whole winter, he's just like this, just watching her. It's just in amazement. And then he's going to start to shuffle things around. Okay, that's enough. Like, I got to get back to reality here. So the 32 is, yeah, no matter what you think and what your direction is, the universe has some tricks up its sleeve, and they're going to pull them out over the winter. Okay, and then the 10 of Cups is about, again, the 10 of Cups, I have to talk about the completion here. It's the emotional fulfillment and being happy and content. This one here in this deck is really the epitome of contentment. There's cats all over. He's playing his flute. She's up in the window looking. Everything's honky-dory, right? It's all good and great and gravy. So there's a comfort level here that is just beyond, right? And if you have a past life thing, that's the way it's going to feel. It's just going to feel contentment to where you've never felt it before. Now, also the 10 of Cups here symbolizes to me, you know, you have the woman overlooking the man. Does he know? We don't know. So, like I was saying, there could be some here that are actually two people that are infatuated with each other, but they don't know that the other one's infatuated back, right? That could be the scenario, because we got 2 cards here about looking at someone from a distance. So that's really the effect. Now we end up on the Knave of Swords, and the Knave of Swords is the Page of Swords, and he is that dude that is sprung, and he is visually impressed. So that is what is driving him. He sees something he wants, and he's in admiration. So there's very obsessive nature here coming out in the cards. And I don't feel like it's a bad obsessive. I just feel like it's a deeply rooted obsession, that it's like love at first sight. And he can't get her out of his mind. He's, yeah, sprung. So in the middle of it all, there's this weird energy of, well, this man could possibly be attached to something. So if this is a male single, and I'm going by that, and we'll see, I guess, in the male couples, what comes out there as well. But if this guy is single, he is newly single, and it is just freshly chopped, and he is looking to the future. So in his mind, I get the sense here that he is single. Okay. The logistics, I guess, maybe there's some funny business there. So keep that in mind when you move forward. And that may be why this man is just stopping and staring, because he's got some cards here he's got to lay on the table for someone else, you know, or set things straight. I don't know. But either way, for the single, that is the reading here. Very intense, man. These last two readings, crazy. But it seems to flow from my summer reading to this one is flowing. It seems to make sense, right? So I'm going to overview, go back over. The first card you got was protection, which is interesting. And now that I know all of this stuff, I feel like the protection upon this man is from the partner if he has one, or the past partner if he had one. Okay, so that's the third party that he's feeling he needs protection from, or an offshoot of that in some way, meaning, yeah, it's really, didn't know where that fit. Now I know where it fit, because there's some kind of a detachment here. This man feels he is detached, but there's somebody on the outside that does not, that feels very attached to him and entitled to him. So there's a problem there, because he's going in a new direction and getting sprung by that. And there's someone in the periphery is not quite cut off. I think that's what's going on here. So the protection is coming from that direction. We feel we need protection from this, but for whatever reason, we're not willing to go there and cut that last tie. Okay, so on the left here we have action, and that is where this man is going to eventually come from. Feel like there's a lot of sitting and staring. Look up the video Stop and Stare from, who sings that? One Republic. Look that one up. There might be something in there that sparks, because it's going through my head and it won't stop. So look that up. Now it'll stop. Thor, the action. So the action is what he intends to take, right? He intends to be fiery and move in the direction of the future. And this man has really cut everything off that is not instantly now or ahead. So there might be a bit of something here he has to still deal with yet. But nonetheless, he's prepared to take action in a totally different direction. Now, cycles, we've got to be careful what we came from, we don't go jumping into. They're making me note of that. So cycles is about repeating the same mistakes. Are we going to do that? Do we see that in this partner? And what was our behavior in the past relationship? That's really a lot of what's going on here. Yeah, they're going, in order to be protected, we have to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So that you have to look at your past relationship. I feel a resistance, like he's either not going to do this at all or not going to dissect it, but I feel like he has to autopsy that relationship and dissect it, and then see if this new direction he's going into, is there any similarities here? Because if there is, we're going to stop and take note, right? And realize what's going on. So yeah, man, this one's making me dizzy. This reading made me dizzy. What's going on? Holy, a lot of energy. It really is that. It's like a, and they're just throwing all this stuff, and it's like making my head spin. So you're in for a whirlwind over the winter, though I don't know how much of it's going to be in your reality. I feel like a lot of this is going to be, like I say, like it's more than a crush, I'll say that, but I'll say there's a lot of watching and waiting and patience on the side of the Virgo male. He's being very patient, but he's got a lot of energy there for this one direction. And I just feel like that's what it is. It's just watching. Over the winter, he's just going to keep watch. And, you know, eventually he'll make decisions. But I feel like if he is somewhat attached, there's some here that may fit into the attachment triangular situation, then they're going to have to deal with that to a deeper degree. They're done in their mind, but the other person may not be aware, or I'm getting a light sense that, you know, we might have to clarify that with the partner, because there might be some troublemaking stuff that goes on with this partner because we're not quite separated or not quite whatever it is. There's something here that's not completely cut away. So yeah, but it's light. But the reasons it's light is because this man has cut that off. He has cut that mentally. There's no room for that. We're not making room or nothing. So it's a different energy than I've had before, but nonetheless very strong. I mean, that earth energy is just coming right from the center. Right from the center. And everything he's got is going in one direction. So be careful not to overwhelm this new energy that comes in, but I feel like he's not confronting her. I feel like they're not aware. I feel like he's aware of her, but I don't feel that she's aware of him in that way, that it's like, hey, you know, let's go for coffee. Da, da, da. I don't feel like he's coming forth in that way. I think he's just really monitoring her in amazement and trying to deal with all that energy that's coming forth, because there's a lot. Just that look, just the look. He just looked at her, and it's just flowing, and he doesn't know how to deal with that. So I feel like the winter, that's what he's gonna try and fix, is I gotta figure out how to calm myself down. Like, what the hell is going on? Well, buddy, it's a past life thing. That's what it is. And it's not just one. It's many, like 5 or more lifetimes where we've had good results here. And it doesn't, is it? Yeah, well, they're going, look at the balance. The balance, yeah, where we've treated each other equally. So there's no negative karma to work out here. It's free and clear. And, you know, that's why they're both going to feel the attraction. And I feel like she's not feeling it because he hasn't come forth to her. He's noticed her, but he has not come out of the crowd and said, hey, how's it going? He hasn't done that yet. So until he does that, it'll be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to the spring. For this guy, but by then he should have things figured out. He'd be well on his way. Even as an earth sign with that much power behind you, you ain't gonna be moving slow. he's got the action in the red kind of Aries energy, so he's gonna be trotting along a little faster than he normally would react under normal circumstances, but nonetheless a lot of energy for admiration and even to the point of obsession on intimate side here. So he's got to learn how to tame that, I think, before he goes forward. He knows this, so he's going to do that. And good luck with whatever direction you're going, buddy, because I'll tell you, it's supercharged. But he don't need to be told that. He knows that already. But it looks like over the winter there's some universal triggers, or what are you saying, mechanics that are going to happen. And they're going to play out in their way, kind of shake things up a bit. Look up that video. What did I say? One. Stop and stare. It's still going. It's still going. So there's something in there. I'm going to watch it myself, see what it's all about. But there's something in that video that you need to hear or will help you or whatever. Stop and Stare by One Republic. Yeah. And they're one of my favorite bands. They're good. Good music. So anyway, you know what? I think I'll put the link to the video in the thing in case you don't think of that. But yeah, because I do that on my Facebook page. Did I mention that? I have a Facebook page that I work through in between the seasonals, and when I go in there, I do weekly reports, masculine and feminine, which would help you figure things out. It gets deeper into the root of problem areas so we can break those apart and keep going. Anyway, infinity readings and reviews on Facebook, that's where I do most of my work. So if you're not getting enough with the seasonals, go in there and you'll get more. And a lot of times I do, because I'll be doing readings throughout the process, and I'll be doing like a reading like this, and then they'll go, yeah, we have a companion video, put this video. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's cool. Okay, yeah, let's do that. And I notice a lot of other readers are on that mode as well. I'm watching a lot of readers out there, and I'm noticing there's a lot more males coming out and doing readings, which I appreciate. Because there's a perspective from the male side of things that I don't know that all the females pick up on, and vice versa, right? I feel like my energy kind of taps in. I'm a little more male-oriented family. I've had a lot of males around me, but tapping into that a little easier. But I appreciate the males that are out there that are doing readings, because they have a perspective, and sometimes, you know, we don't give them enough credit for using their instinct, and it's good and hopeful to see men using that in a way, and sometimes very powerful and good as well. So, wanted to say that. Yeah, so awesome reading for the Virgo male. Single, complicated, one of those things. So yeah, you know, I'm going on to the male couple here, so you might want to check that one out, but I know for sure you want to check out my summer reading, because this is really tied. This is the continuation of it, but there's a lot of meat in the other one as well. This one's kind of left mysterious, I think because it's closer to the time it's actually happening. But the other one has a lot of meat as well, connected very directly to this. So you might want to check that out. Anyway, take care, have fun, and be kind. Over the Christmas season, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that. Celebrations, take it easy. And I will see you next season. Take care, have fun, be kind.